Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Chopping Block Studios. This week's episode of The Chop with Marvin Lee. I hope everybody had a good week. I certainly did. I'm really excited. Um, a lot's been happening in my life. I'm just one of those people that, I try to stay uh, grounded in reality. I try to stay grounded in reality and, um, you know, I try to do something a little different every day to make sure that my life is, just looks a little different today than it did yesterday in a more positive manner. And on tonight's episode, I want to talk about the power of manifesting. What is manifesting and, the power behind it. Exactly what does it mean to manifest? Again, this podcast is not one that is religious in nature, but again, you're going to hear a lot that I speak, and you will certainly be able to hear that I do have a religious upbringing. But again, anything that tells me something's wrong with me is not for me. But there's a scripture in the Bible that says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Or another translation says, "So does he become." And that's manifesting, right? Whatever I think about, my life will travel in the direction of my most dominant thought. So when it comes to manifestation, a lot of people may think about thinking in terms of, I think of manifestation in terms of that's secular, that's satanic, that's this or that's that. Really, it's just there's a misconception behind just what manifesting is. Manifestation is um, is the belief that if you think about or imagine or focus on your dreams by practicing various manifestation methods, you can actually make those dreams become reality. What are the intentions behind what the thoughts that you think? What actions are you putting into the thoughts that you think? And being committed to that process, again, according to your faith, be it unto you, or as you think in your heart, so is it, or so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, or so is she, or so does it become, or so whatever it is that you're thinking, so it manifests accordingly. So we can go back to scripture and we can see that manifestation or manifesting is spoken of in holy scriptures, right? You don't trust me? Go see. I think that's Proverbs 23:7. I think. I'm not sure, but I can tell you here in just a minute. But I want to read something, and then we're going to go a little further. Do you have some, hopefully have some people that are going to be joining the audience here shortly. I didn't have a guest tonight because every time I ask somebody, they never show up. And yes, I was correct. It is Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So again, whatever you think in your heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So I speak the words that I'm thinking, right? So I have to make sure that I'm thinking the appropriate things. I have to make sure that I am thinking the appropriate thoughts. And the thing that I want to read about manifesting, and then again, we'll go from here. Manifesting, be a reflection of what you would like to receive. If you want love, give love. If you want truth, be truthful. If you want respect, give respect and respect yourself. This is the golden rule. If you want to manifest a beautiful life, simply operate from your highest good. This state will attract all that you need and more than you could ever imagine. Now, this every seed reproduces after its own kind. That's just a fact. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's the golden rule. I often say, if you want friends, show yourself friendly. That's scripture from the Bible too. Be the change that you want to see in this world. Whatever it is that you want to see in this world, we change the world by changing one person at a time. And that change has to start with me. We don't change the world by changing the world. So again, I have to be the change that I'm willing to or that I want to see in the world. And I have to, again, that change starts with me. And the amazing thing about that change is change becomes like, it can be contagious. But the thing about change is whoever your change impacts, they have to be willing to undergo the necessary steps to facilitate that change. Change is not something that happens automatically. Now, the one thing that does happen automatically is we age. That's it. I mean, of many things that I can think of, the change that occurs, we age, whether we want to or not. That change happens without our permission. And the thing about change is it doesn't always require, it doesn't require our permission in order for it to work. However, it does require our participation in order for it to work. So I have to make a conscious choice. I have to make a conscious decision, no matter what the change is, no matter how much I think it's going to hurt, no matter how much I think it's not going to hurt, no matter how painful I think it is, no matter what the case may be. I have to be willing to participate in the process of change to continue to facilitate the change. So again, whatever it is that I want to change in my life, I have to be willing to take the necessary steps to see to it that that change happens. For example, again, I'm very transparent, and I'll tell you, I have no qualms when it comes to telling you about me, because I know me better than anybody else knows me, right? I have always been pretty fit. I have always had a tightly toned body. I call myself Thickalicious with 3 C's, right? You want me to know to spell it? I spell it for you. THICCC, alicious. But anyways, I've always had a tight tummy, always. Now, again, I've already shared with you guys that I, struggled with addiction, and I stayed toned through active addiction too. I mean, I wasn't eating much then, but when I stopped using, I put on some pounds. I was 162 pounds in active addiction. I am now 215 pounds. So that is 38 plus 15, which is what, 53 pounds. So I've gained 53 pounds. So needless to say, the weight is evenly distributed, but I do have a little bit of a belly. Just not much, but a little bit, right? And it doesn't bother me. However, it is something that I want to change. Now, I would be silly to think that if I continue to neglect the necessary steps to facilitate that change, that I'm going to have a flat tummy. In other words, if I'm drinking carbonated beverages, sodas every day, if I'm drinking, nothing wrong with coffee, but it should be black coffee. But if I'm drinking coffee that I'm putting 6 sugars or 6 Splendors and all this extra cream and all this good stuff in it, and I'm not drinking water, and I'm not, if I'm not doing the things that I need to do to rid my body of the excess sugar, which turns into fat, that's not going to help me. And then if I'm not exercising regularly on top of that, I'm not going to change anything. In other words, many people will say that insanity is described as, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's what they say. I say insanity is knowing what the outcome is going to be regardless and still saying, you know what, I don't care. That's insanity. I know what the outcome is going to be, but I just say, I'm going to do this anyways. That's the insane part of things. So again, if I want what I've never had before, I have to be willing to do what I've never done before. Now, true, I've never been in a situation where I've gained this much weight and that I've ever been. I've never. I'm 6'2", 215 pounds. If the weight, it is distributed evenly, but if I flatten this tummy out, I'm telling you, I'm going to the beach. I'm putting on a Speedo. Might even have a thong underneath the Speedo. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. I'm playing with y'all. But let's just say I love me today. And because I love me today, I'm willing to manifest, not just think about what it is I need to do to flatten my tummy, to get rid of that weight. Because it's excess fat around my organs now. And I forgot what they call that fat. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not even trying to go there right now. But the power of manifesting. I can think about losing weight all day long, but if I don't have corresponding action to match my thinking, I'd be a fool to think that I'm going to see some type of results, right? So again, what life do I want for myself? The life that I want for myself, I am manifesting love because I want love. So I give love to other people. I'm one of those people that I only want the best for other people. And the reason I can say that I want the best for other people is because I want the best for myself. I don't get jealous of people. That's something I don't do. I don't know what it takes you to walk in your truth. I don't know what it takes you to maintain the things that are brought to you according to your truth. I know what it takes for me to walk in my truth. I know what it takes for me to maintain the life that I've been given, that I've been blessed with. I do not envy you. There is enough room for us all to sit at the same table rather, and feast. I don't have to hate on you for anything. There's room. There's room at the end. You need a place to stay? Come on in. Now, if you bring in some drama and chaos and all that other stuff with you, okay, leave that where it's at. You're welcome, but all that's not. And it's sad that we can't always, in the midst of our change, we can't always bring everybody along with us. Everybody's not meant to go along with us on our journey. And when it comes to manifesting, one thing that I have learned is that, we talk about the higher self and we talk about the lesser self, the high is good. It is unfortunate that for whatever reason, there's a plethora of reasons that everybody does not have the same level of understanding when it comes to being connected to other people, the bad energy. We talk about energy, but in as much as we talk about good energy, there's also bad energy. In as much as we talk about being celebrated, we also have people who don't celebrate us, and those who don't celebrate us, we tend to call them haters. And haters tend to send negative energy our way that can intervene in, or hinder what we're trying to manifest. How do we allow that to happen? Sometimes I can disclose information to the wrong people about what it is that I would like to manifest in the form of my dreams. And it could be someone who is jealous of me for whatever reason, and they want what I have because they don't understand that they can have the same thing as well, because we create I have to forgive my younger self. I have to believe in my current self, and I have to create my future self. And in the process of doing that, there are people, that's called manifesting, right? There are people who don't understand that we all operate by the same laws, the same rules, and the same principles. The only thing is my level of awareness of those spiritual principles, those spiritual laws, like sowing and reaping. If I want love, I give love. Love comes back to me. Let me take it to the natural for a minute. If I'm a farmer and I want a harvest of corn, I'm going to plant some corn seeds and I'm going to get a harvest of corn. If I want cucumbers, I'm going to plant some cucumber seeds and I'm going to get some cucumbers. If I want apples, I'm not going to plant orange seeds, because if I plant orange seeds, I'm going to get orange trees that are going to yield oranges, right? So what I'm saying is I'm not going to sit here and sow seeds of love and expect anything else to come back to me besides love. I am going to continue to refine me as much as I can, to the best of my willingness, and stay in my process, because I understand that there are certain laws that, regardless of what I think, what I see, what I feel, or what I think I might know, there's certain laws that are just going to be laws, and they're going to operate according to the way that they were designed to operate. When I speak, I have to speak with authority. I have to speak knowing that the words I speak are creative in nature. They are explosive. The words that I speak are a force, a creative force is what it is. What you see me living in today, what you see me walking in today, how you see me carrying myself today is a direct correlation to things that I've spoken about myself. And I continue to speak the things about myself that I want to be true. I continue to visualize or envision where I want my life to go, and I focus my tongue in that direction, and I speak that. Even if I speak it to myself, I'm speaking that. If I have to manifest to myself, by myself, that's what I will do. Now, if you can find somebody who believes in you, as much as you believe in yourself, that you can share your just your everything with. That is when two people begin to manifest the same thing. That is powerful and dynamic in and of itself. So again, we're thinking on the greater good. How can I make myself better so that, and for me, this is how I think, how can I make myself better so that through service, because of the love that I have, I am willing to manifest my highest good, my greatest good, to become a greater, to become a better version of myself so that I can in turn have an impact on somebody else and allow them to experience the same changes, the same knowledge, the same wisdom that I have so that they in turn can help someone else. This is how we change the world. Again, I have to change me. That change affects somebody else, and that change affects somebody else. And it's a ripple effect, and it continues to move. But for whatever reason, when it comes to knowledge, I'm a person, I'm a student of wisdom. I love learning knowledge. I love accumulating wisdom. I love demonstrating wisdom. I love being taught. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. There was a time I used to think I knew it all. You can't tell me anything. But that's not the case anymore. I am a student of wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. And I want to be guided by wisdom. I don't want to be foolish in anything that I say or do. I want to be wise in all of my actions, all of my words. Why? Because wisdom, again, is the principal thing. Wisdom will sustain you. If you teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a day. Or I'm sorry, if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. That's wisdom right there. Wisdom is the greatest teacher. And wisdom speaks. And when wisdom speaks, those with ears to hear receive the lesson that wisdom is teaching. So again, one thing that I do know is when it comes to manifesting, I pay attention to my dreams. I pay attention to my dreams. I pay attention to synchronicities around me because that is the God of my understanding. I call him God. You may say the universe. I say the universe sometimes too, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about God. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell therein. Again, I pay attention to the synchronicities or the coincidences, which I don't like saying coincidences or synchronicities because all those are coincidences, synchronicities. They are miracles that God doesn't get credit for. God is always speaking, but the question is, am I listening? And I want to tune my spirit to the frequency of God. I want to know when he's speaking. I want to know when I need to go left. I want to know when I need to go right. I want to know at all times what it is that I need to know in order to continue on this journey that I have embarked upon. Because again, I know that part of my purpose in life is to receive this wisdom so that I can teach others. I have a lofty vision and a lofty dream. And if your dream does not scare you, you're dreaming too small. So again, when it goes back to the power of manifesting, the reason that I have a scriptural basis for what I believe, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, or according to your faith, be it unto you. The reason I have that spiritual basis as the foundation is because, number one, God said this. And God, if you told me to think big and to dream big, and according to my faith, be it unto me, then you're telling me you got my back. And that's all that I need to hear. Prove me now herewith, says God. Prove me. Prove it to me. I'm bigger than anything that you can think. I'm bigger than anything you can ask me. But when you begin to manifest in line with the purest of intentions that align with your highest self and that greater calling and the purpose for which we are placed here, each of us has an individual purpose. And again, when you step into your power, you step into your purpose. What is your power? Well, until you step into love, you'll never begin to understand what your power is. All power is initiated and begins with love. That's the greatest of these, love. Love for self, number one. But that even starts with the love of God. And if I can't love God, I'm never going to love myself. And if I don't love God and love myself, I'm not going to love other people. And if I don't love other people, I'm not going to serve other people. I love to be of service to other people. I don't need anybody to do anything for me. If there is someone if I have a need and you step in, you help out, great. I thank you. God placed it on your heart. Whatever the case is, I've been in situations where I saw a person with a need. It is what it is. I'm a vessel. I'm a conduit. God, if you can use anything or anybody, use me. Um, and again, sometimes we are placed in positions to give because again, we're talking about spiritual laws. We're talking about the law of sowing and reaping, or seed time and harvest, or whatever the case is. Whatever you give, it is going to be received. Whatever seed you place out there, whatever you measure with, it's going to be measured back to you the same way. So again, if I have a need in my life, I may be in a position that same need that I have, I help somebody else with this in my life, and it comes back to me later. It's almost it's perpetual. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. I have to keep moving. I have to keep being vigilant, stay motivated, and just keep moving with it. Never stop. Again, that's the law of sowing and reaping. Every seed reproduces after its own kind. If you want a watermelon patch, plant some watermelon seeds. You plant some cantaloupes or cantaloupe seeds, I promise you're not going to get watermelons. But again, so if I want hope, I have to give away some hope. If I want faith, and you can't really give faith away, I can have faith for somebody. But until somebody has faith in themselves, I can give you hope. You can receive that. But faith, But if I want love, I'm going to give love away. If I want friendship, I'm going to be friendly. If I want, no matter what it is that I want, I'm gonna practice the thing that I want. I'm going to be the change that I want to see. I'm going to be to somebody else what I want somebody to be to me. I'm going to be to myself what I need. And in so doing, I can be for you and be to you what I need you to be to me. If I want empathy and compassion, I'm going to be compassionate towards somebody else. I'm going to be empathetic towards somebody else. If I want forgiveness, I'm going to forgive somebody else. If I want mercy, if I want grace, I'm going to be merciful and I'm going to be gracious towards somebody else. Why? Because again, I understand that everything that I put out there is going to come back to me. And I have to keep the purest of intentions because it's going to come back to me the way that I send it out there, When it comes to manifesting, that is everybody's level playing field. We all have the opportunity to make the most of the lives that we are given. Sure, there are some circumstances or natural barriers that a lot of us could use as excuses to stay stuck. But we have all been given the measure or a measure of faith. Faith to manifest, faith to create, faith to believe. That's what faith is. Faith is believing against all odds. Even when it looks like things are not working in my favor, I choose to believe in spite of. Why? Because this is what I've been instructed to do. In my 50 years of living, I've used this method to bring about change. Situations where I needed what I needed when I needed it. And I just saw what I wanted. And this is the thing about this. This is not magic that we're talking about. This is not rubbing a lamp and a genie appears, a genie in a bottle. We don't do that. That's not wishing. Manifesting is not wishing. Manifesting is when I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this thing, it is a part of who I am. It comes from the deepest parts of me as an individual. I see this in me. I'm giving birth to this thing. I'm giving birth to this thing. It is a vision that, and I pray over it. I nurture it. That's how I nurture it. I pray over it. I speak to this thing. I call it forth. I create it. And I refuse to speak anything negative about what trying to manifest. I refuse to have any type energy other than nurturing and loving, inviting. If it's negative, if it is not positive, I will kill that energy so fast. That is the importance of me knowing that I go where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated. Because when you're in a room where you're celebrated, these are people who automatically know your energy. They know your spirit. They know they know what they just know what they know. And you feel the love. You feel the connection. And it's one of those connections where it is I know the word I'm looking for and I can't say, but anyways, these people, they nurture that connection. They are assignments in our lives. Um, they are the teachers or the guides that are helping us to see to it that the thing that we are trying to manifest, it happens. And then we are able to turn around and we nurture somebody else in the same manner. Um, and again, I've done this on several occasions, but there's a lot of patience that does have to go into this, into the art of manifesting. Um, just because I believe something's going to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. I've been believing I was going to win the lottery forever, and that ain't happened yet. I say that jokingly. God doesn't deal with chance, but God is God and can do anything and everything that He decides to do, and I don't limit Him to anything. If God decides that He wants to bless me with chance, okay, He'll speak that to me. He'll say, Marvin, I need you to go down to the store, and I need you to play the numbers, and I'll be like, okay. I'd be like, it'd be a whole lot easier if you just rain down money in my living room. I won't have to go anywhere, but where's the fun in that? Not only that, and I say that jokingly, but anytime that I'm supposed to receive something, I have to do something in order to receive that. Let me say that again. If I am trying to manifest something, in order for me to receive something, I have to do something. We don't just rest in the sweet by and by, resting on our laurels, just waiting for a miracle to happen. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't work like that. There's something that I must do in order to facilitate the thing that I'm trying to manifest, in order to facilitate the manifestation of that thing. And the more that I do it, the easier it becomes. But the greatest thing for me is always staying in making sure that from a physical, a spiritual, and an emotional standpoint, I have to work on those three parts of who I am and remain humble at all times, because I want to make sure that my intentions remain pure. Because as long as I continue to remain pure in how my intention, and what my intention for my dreams, my hopes, my beliefs are, I will manifest those things quicker. I will never walk into something that I'm not ready for. I will always be prepared for it. In other words, I'm being prepared for the thing that God has prepared for me. You can't pour new wine into old wineskins. Because if you do that, old wineskins, it's going to be a whole lot of wasted new wine. Because those old wineskins aren't capable of there's a whole process. And I'm not even going to try to break it down because, again, I'm not a scientist and I don't understand how that works, but I just know you can't pour new wine into old wineskins. It's the same thing as saying you can put nice clean clothes on. If you are dirty, I wouldn't suggest doing that because you're going to ruin those. And that's basically what we're saying here. So you're not going to try to, until you clean yourself up, you don't want to try to walk into the newness of a better life, because you're going to bring the old ways into the new thing, and the old ways are going to mess the new thing up. It always happens like that. If I don't work on this, it doesn't matter what I get, I'm going to mess it up. Why? Because I didn't change me. I'm going to show up as I am, not as I should be or as I need to be. So again, the very thing that we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So the very thing that I'm trying to attract, if I'm not ready for it, I'm repelling it anyways. So I want to always constantly work on me. The power of manifestation, it's a gift to be able to set your sights on the thing that you want that you desire, that you want to create, whether that's whatever your life is, whatever your businesses are, whatever, I don't care what it is. Create the vision for your life that you want and then manifest it. One thing that I've done, I'm going to briefly touch on this and then I'm going to wind it down because I do have one audience member. I invited a bunch of people, but I got one audience member and they're going to text me shortly and say who it was. I can't see who it is. So I don't know. But I will say this. I did all that rambling. I forgot what I was going to say. Let's see if it comes back to me. I forgot what I was about to say. Actually, I do know who it is because they messaged me. Hi, Haley. It's definitely not my end because I have sound, but I will post it for you later. But at any rate, I forgot what I was going to say. We're talking about manifesting, believing. I don't know what I was going to say, but one thing for certain, when it comes to manifesting, oh, I know what it was, the vision board. One thing that I've done in order to help me visualize the life that I want for myself and then to manifest that life is I created a vision board. I can't tell you what your vision board should look like. Only you know what your vision board should look like. But for me, what that looks like is images from magazines or whatever that spoke to me, that touched something within my spirit, and I knew what it meant. I cut those pictures out and I posted them on these. For me, I took two poster boards and I kind of taped them together or whatever, and because my vision board was rather, it's specific to me. And I created a vision for the life that I see for me. And I make sure that I look at that vision board every day. And I thank God for the vision. I thank God for the dreams. I thank God for everything, because at the end of the day, I cannot thank God. And if I have the thought or if I have the desire, where did it come from in the first place? So my job is to maintain the connection that I have with God and continue to be the best version of myself as possible that I possibly can. Continue to show up in my higher self and not change for anything or anybody, and to maintain a pure heart. Because if I have a pure heart, pure intentions are going to flow from that pure heart. So again, this has been episode number 8 of The Power of Manifesting. I hope next week, I don't know if I'm going to be recording on next Wednesday, depending on the particular guest that I want to record the episode with me. It may be Wednesday. Typically, I'm Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But if I get the guest that I want, that I've already spoken to, they can only record on Wednesday night. So you may not see me next Monday night. If you don't, that's because you will see me Wednesday night. I'm going to make sure that I put it out there. I'm going to plaster Instagram. I'm going to plaster Facebook because I really want to interact with you guys. I want you to, interact with me. Give me your thoughts. Give me your questions, whatever the case is. But understand this. This has been another episode of The Chop with Marvin Lee. This is the Chopping Blog where we can talk about whatever you want to. It doesn't have to be. I just don't like talking about myself, so I kind of cut it short when it's just me. The country accent's coming out. I cut it short when it's just me. But I hope all of you guys have the most amazing week. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy coming live to you guys. I love you. I will see you guys next week. Again, this has been The Chop with Marvin Lee, episode 8, The Power of Manifesting. Make manifestation work for you. Have a great week.